Apple's newly released iPad Air 4 is finally available to the public. So in this video I wanna give you a few reasons why this might be a perfect tablet for you, as well as compare it to the current 2020 Pro model. Both tablets are great, but which one is specifically for you? Yes, you. Let's find out. You may wanna love the new Air is its design and multiple color options that the iPad Pro doesn't have. The design itself looks almost identical to the iPad Pro, with just slightly thicker bezels on the Air and fingerprint sensor on the top button compared to Face ID that you will find on the iPad Pro. Both unlocking methods are great, but Face ID is just slightly more secured, but other than that, the choice which method you prefer really belongs to you. Another thing is overall performance. Both tablets are so fast and so incredibly powerful that choosing one over the other because of the performance is kinda pointless. Both will perform greatly, and as far as software support is concerned, they both should have similar software support over the years, and they will last a really long time because of the tremendous power that these chips in these devices have to offer. The performance of both iPads was very similar, but the amount of RAM is not. The iPad Air has 4GB of RAM and the iPad Pro has 6GB of RAM. What that means is the fact that on the iPad Pro you will be able to have more apps open and use more apps at the same time compared to the iPad Air, which doesn't mean Air will not be able to do that. It's just the Pro will do better when it comes to not closing the apps after not using them for quite some time. Both iPads have laminated and very colorful and accurate displays, with iPad Pro being slightly brighter and, more importantly, having ProMotion, which basically means that its display is capable of refreshing itself twice as many times as the one on iPad Air, which basically translates into smoother overall experience on the iPad Pro, which doesn't necessarily mean that the iPad Air is gonna be bad. It has standard display, colorful display, very accurate and sharp, just as sharp as in the iPad's Pro case. It just means that the Pro will feel smoother because of this higher refresh rate in day-to-day use, as well as in some games that support 120 frames per second, as well as during some scrolling on or moving through interface. Another thing when speaking of iPad Air is the new USB-C that will allow you for faster data transfer and overall more Pro usage experience. But here again, the iPad's Pro USB-C is twice as more fast when it comes to data transfer, but still, both of these models have it, and the one in the iPad Air 4 will be 100% enough, just slightly slower when it comes to data transfer compared to the one on the Pro. The Pro also has more storage, 128GB in base configuration compared to 64GB on the iPad Air. And again, if 64GB is fine for you, that's perfectly okay, but what is worth mentioning is the fact that 128 is just more future-proofing and enables you to store more data on your iPad, for example photos. And speaking of photos, both tablets have cameras, good cameras, with Air having one single lens camera, 12 megapixel, that will enable you to record videos in 4K 60 frames per second. The Pro is just as capable, but it has an ultra-wide camera additional, plus LiDAR scanner for better AR scanning and things like that. So Pro overall has better camera, more advanced camera features, as well as front camera features, for example portrait mode, thanks to the Face ID features. But that doesn't mean that the Air will not do fine. It has great camera, great specification. So if you wanna, for example, take a photo of a document that usually iPad's camera is useful for, then it will do 100% fine. When it comes to the audio, the Air has 2 speakers, stereo speakers, compared to 4 stereo speakers on the Pro. Overall, the Pro will sound better, but if you use a lot of headphones with your iPad, it doesn't really matter to you probably. But what may matter to you is the fact that Pro has quality studio microphones, so if you're into recording some podcasts or something to do with voiceovers, then Pro may be a better option to you. The best thing that both iPads have in common is their software. Both support iPad OS and both will be supported probably for the same period of times. I mean, both of their processors are almost equally powerful, so that will make sense. And also the Air, thanks to the USB-C, Magic Keyboard support and Apple Pencil 2nd generation support, just like the Pro, has almost or just as equal capabilities as the new Pro. These accessories, these extra accessories that I mentioned, like Magic Keyboard, Apple Pencil 2nd generation and USB-C, these are the killer features that actually make the iPad Air worth comparing to the Pro, because this iPad is just as capable in these areas. So if these things matter to you and other Pro features may not, then Air will definitely do the job just fine. Also, when it comes to battery performance, both iPads are rated for 10 hours of constant usage, so there will be no problem when it comes to that. iPads had never had really any real problems with batteries. They were always good when it came to this aspect, regardless of the software they were running. So these iPads will do just as good. Both will be equal when it comes to battery life. So that's really it when it comes to differences and similarities when it comes to iPad Air and Pro. And now the question remains, which one should you choose? Well, that depends. If you want to have the best of the best, go ahead with the Pro and you will be happy. If you, however, are willing to trade a couple of features like more RAM, more base storage, stereo speakers, 4 stereo speakers that you have on the iPad Pro, as well as promotion feature, and you just want to have a very capable tablet that supports Magic Keyboard, Apple Pencil 2nd generation, also USB-C, then go ahead with the Air and you will be very happy with your choice. If you are still not sure which one is for you, then go ahead and ask me in the comments, so I'll be able to analyze your situation and help you exactly with your choice and tell you which iPad is specifically for your needs. And until that, be sure to be well, make sure to press the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content like that, and more importantly, as always, be sure to be well once again. Stay tuned, until next time, peace.